So in your classic proverbial where there's smoke, there's fire situation, Dalvin Cook looks like he's headed to Miami to be the Miami Dolphins starting running back for the 2023 season. Whether he's traded or whether he's cut outright and Miami signs him, that's to be determined. But it looks like that's what's going to happen here. And as a result, Alexander Mattison will finally be given that precious opportunity to be the consensus clear-cut number one running back for the Minnesota Vikings. All right, this is the Fantasy Sports Bus. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe, hit the notification button. Lots of videos coming forth, the next couple of months leading up to the season. Of course, during the season, the usual instant injury updates during the games and all that fun stuff. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, as far as Cook is concerned, this has been the big storyline throughout the offseason in terms of Minnesota, what they were going to do with Cook. I mean, clearly the team is down on him. He's going to be 28 by the time the 2023 season gets underway, which is, getting up there for a running back. I've told you many times how I avoid in fantasy football backs that have turned 27 and older. So certainly I'm out on Cook this season. Even looking at last season, the numbers took a tumble. All right. So Cook last season, while he did, he ran for 1,173 yards and 8 touchdowns, which were good numbers. His yards per carry, though, only 4.4, which was a career worst performance in his 6 years at Minnesota. Also in the receiving game, 39 catches, for 295 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, the yardage, not great. The receptions, not terrible. I mean, he was usually, as far as Cook in the receiving game, he's, between 40 and he's gone as high as 50, 53. So that was not horrible. But again, this is an aging back who's always had issues with injuries. He's last season was the only time he's ever played a full schedule of games in 6 seasons. So even going forward, turning 28, the injury issue is just going to be more and more pronounced. And Minnesota knows this. They see the 4.4 per carry, which is his career worst. And that's probably the start of a trend. So they want to get out from under him and give the ball to Alexander Mattison. So listen, Cook is not going to be with Minnesota when the season starts. So Alexander Mattison, who was re-signed during the offseason, didn't get a lot of fanfare, but that should have been an indication right there. He was going to be the guy. We've been waiting for this opportunity 4 years as the backup to Cook, former third-round pick, for his career. Now, listen, Alexander Mattison hasn't exactly wowed the last couple of years. He's been at 3.7 and 3.8 per carry, but his first 2 years, 4.6, 4.5. We'll give him a pass the last couple of years. It's hard to maintain any sort of consistency when you're playing as infrequently as Mattison, is. He caught 15 passes last season, down from 32 the year before. But he is capable of both running and receiving in terms of his offense and his contributions. And in fantasy football, he will be a running back too. The industry has been on Mattison for a while. He's always been probably the most popular, if not the most, certainly top 3 handcuff running back to own in yearly fantasy football leagues the last 3 years, since he opened eyes as a rookie. And, so the community and fantasy football community is ready to adopt him and throw him out there as a running back too. I think, I'm not sure where the value is going to lie with him. He might be overdrafted based on the name brand. And again, the fact that we've been waiting for him to get this opportunity, which is now at hand. So I'm not sure I'm going to have any shares of Alexander Mattison. I'm definitely not going to own Dalvin Cook. Declining numbers, injury prone, 28. And now the other side of the ball here is he's going to Miami, which has a really crowded backfield. They just re-signed Jeff Wilson. They re-signed Raheem Mostert, who worked as a very good, effective pairing last year. They don't even really need to do this move. I don't understand it. And they drafted Devin Arcane. During the past NFL draft, 2023 NFL draft. So they have 3 runners. And again, Mostert did a really good job. So did Jeff Wilson when he came over from San Francisco. So there's no need for them to do this, but they seem to have a desire to bring Cook aboard. And as far as Cook is concerned, he'll be a low-end running back too, because I don't see bell cow duties here with a capable Wilson and a capable Mostert in town. I just don't see it. It's just a curious move by Miami and does not help Cook's fantasy value. So you should not have any interest in him there. All right. So they spelled it out for you. Running back 2 value for Alexander Mattison, low end running back 2 value for Dalvin Cook. Don't like the destination, and even Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert, they both will become firm running back 3s unless one of them gets traded. That's possible too. I didn't mention that. If Cook goes to Miami, will they trade Jeff Wilson? Will they trade Raheem Mostert? It's possible, and that would invigorate their value a little bit. But again, hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. More videos on the way.